Jai Shri Shri Guru Garanga Gandharvika Giridhari Radhika Raman Giriju Ki Jai Ho. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janabalava Givanidhari Gopi Janabalava Givanidhari Yasodananjana Braja Jana Ranjanan Yasodananjana Braja Jana Ranjanan Jamunatira Banachari Jamunatira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janabalava Givanidhari Gopi Janabalava Givanidhari Yasodananjana Braja Jana Ranjanan Yasodananjana Braja Jana Ranjanan Jamunatira Banachari Jamunatira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janabalava Givanidhari Gopi Janabalava Givanidhari Yasodananjana Braja Jana Ranjanan Yasodananjana Braja Jana Ranjan Jamunatira Banachari Jamunatira Banachari Jai Ho Jai Om Agyanna Timirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshu Militamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantikam Namo Mahavandhanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gora Tvashe Namaha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. First of all, I'd like to offer my heartfelt Puspanjali to the lotus feet of my Harinam Diksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, our Srila Prabhupada. And second of all, to my Bhajan Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, our Srila Gurudev, and to Srila Bhakti Vigan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to our entire Guru Parampara, especially to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and his Madhurya Kadambini. First of all, before we dive more into the 8th shower of Madhurya Kadambini, I wanted to just speak about one thing. Very soon, because we're now, at least in Vrindavan, and I think everywhere, in the month of October. We're in the 3rd month of Chaturmasya. So that means that the 4th month of Chaturmasya is coming soon, Kartik. Kartik is coming, our final and last month. But this month, Kartik, as we all know, is the most special. It's the month of Srimati Radhika. She's even called Kartik Devi. Rupa Goswami has one of his verses in the Utkalika Valari where he calls her Kartik Devi. And she's called Urjeshwari. This is Srimati Radhika. So now I wanted to speak about this because we can prepare ourselves and get ourselves ready to be able to hopefully follow Kartik in an even more special way than maybe we even have done before, or at least as we've done before. Because Kartik is actually an opportunity. It's an opportunity to, you might say, what do you call it? What's the word? Renew. That's the word. Renew our bhakti, renew our seva to Sri Guru, to renew our desire to serve, to only become the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. This is our aim and object, as we've been taught by Rupa Goswami and our Guru Parampara, that to become the maidservant of Srimati Radharani is our goal of life. And so in this month of Kartik, our only desire, our only aim and object is to please Srimati Radhika. Like this, and to develop an intense eagerness to do this. Because right now, like I know myself, sometimes, oh yes, anyone asks me, what's your goal of life? Oh, I want to become the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. But do I really have a burning eagerness for this? No, I'll be honest, no. Every now and then I might have some. But most of the time, it's there. I'm very grateful for the fact that I haven't forgotten that this is my goal of life. But I cannot say that it's an intense eagerness, like I've heard is the price you have to pay to actually get it. You know, until we have this intense eagerness, you know, all the time, we will not attain our goal. So this month of Kartik, especially if we're in Braj, either in Braj physically or in Braj with our heart and mind, we need to be in Braj for Kartik. This is Gaudiya. You know, you may be over there in America or Australia, wherever, but you need to be in Braj by your heart and by your mind. I'm fortunate, my body's at least here, but I can't say my heart and mind are necessarily here. My heart and mind may be on the net of Maya covering Vrindavan, and maybe farther away from Vrindavan than yours when you're way over there. So, but we all need to be in Braj during Kartik. And on the first day of, now Srila Narayan Maharaj, for his Kartik Parikrama that he would have, at least near the end, he always started about 10 days or a week before in Mathura. He would start in Mathura and do Mathura Parikrama, all the holy places in Mathura, and take vow at Vishramghat, you know, where Mahaprabhu himself took his vows and took his bath when he first came to Braj Mandal. Now Mathura is a doorway to Braj. Mathura is considered half Aishwarya, half Madhurya. Like this, it's a doorway. So we spend some time visiting and praying to the holy places in Mathura. There's one deity there, Mathura Devi. I remember, because I used to live in Mathura. For 6 years I lived in the Mathura Mat, Keshavji Gaudiya Mat with Srila Narayan Maharaj. And we would go visit Mathura Devi. And one time we came back and we told Srila Gurudev, oh, we visited Mathura Devi. Oh, how nice. Said, well, you should pray to Mathura Devi that she takes you to her friend, Vrinda Devi, to Vrindavan. You know, he wasn't very impressed. He said, no, your desire should be to go to Vrindavan and meet Vrinda Devi. Like this. So we have to always have everything in proper perspective. Like this. Proper perspective. So we visit Mathura. We take a vow at Vishramghat, but we follow in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself and our Goswamis, Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. They came in through Mathura, but they came to Braj, and they stayed in Braj. And Rupa Goswami, who's our Adi Guru for our particular group, desiring to be the maidservants of Srimati Radhika, he's our topmost guru. We want the blessings of Lalita and Vishaka, Swarb Damodar, Rai Ramananda, Ananga Manjari, Janavadevi, Vrinda Devi, but we're in the group of Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami, and so this is where our final destination is, the lotus feet of Rupa Manjari, at the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. So what does he tell us in his Upadeshamrita, his basic teachings? He says, the essence of all advice, as we all know, is to stay in Braj. And to hear, chant, remember the pastimes, the sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna, under the guidance of a Rasic devotee. That means an actual inhabitant of Vrindavan who had a Ragatmika devotee. Ragatmika means that they have rag in their heart. Not their Raganuga, they're following in the footsteps of the Ragatmika. No, a Ragatmika devotee. That means they have rag. And what is rag? Rag is an unquenchable thirst to make Krishna happy. It's unquenchable, an attachment. This is Mother Yashoda. This is Rupa Manjari. This is Srimati Radhika. This is Sridham Saka. They have this rag, unquenchable thirst. They're never satisfied in their seva. More, like this. So we need to be under the shelter of a Ragatmika devotee. And we're so fortunate that the Ragatmika devotees have sent their representatives here to this earth planet. And we're very fortunate we're on this earth planet in a human form of life. We're just reading in the 5th canto of the Bhagavatam. It's chapter 19. And Sukadev Goswami is explaining to Maharaj Parikshit all the different places in Jambudweep. And in Jambudweep, the most special place, and the most special place in all of creation actually is Bharatvarsh. Bharatvarsh is the most special. And within Bharatvarsh, what's the most special? Gaur Mandal. And where there? Navadweep. And within there, Mayapur, which is Gupta Vrindavan. So Vrindavan, like this. There's no Braj Mandal. And Braj Mandal, Gaur Mandal, the most special places. And to have a human form of life so that we can actually practice bhakti. Bhakti yoga. Braj Bhakti. Braj Bhakti Rasasar, the Braj Bhakti given by Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. And that they have, by their causeless mercy, by the wish of Prem Guru Srimati Radhika, who has sent them, and who's actually inspired Krishna himself to come as Gaur, Srimati Radhika, our life and soul, even though I don't feel it, at least I tell myself she's my life and soul. I wish I felt it. Anyhow, she has sent them here to canvas. Oh, which one? Where are my other dasis? Where are they? Please come, please come. Just follow. I'll tell you how to attain the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. This is Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. Just follow what we have. It's not difficult, really not. Just chant Hare Krishna, and follow simple rules and regulations as we give in our Upadeshamrita, Manashiksha. Basic, just do this. It's not so difficult. So they've accepted us into their family. They've given us sambandha. How extraordinary. I mean, I know myself, I have absolutely no qualification to be in the family of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. I mean, I'm probably one of these, I'm aspiring Rupanuga, aspiring to become a real disciple, but I am part of the family, even though I'm probably an embarrassing part of the family, but still part of the family. And we're praying to become not embarrassing, to actually become like them. The song from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gurudev Kripa Bindu, he says, Atmasat, please take my soul and make me like you, Shri Guru. Because our gurus are Rupanuga. They are Ragatmika. They have come with this gift. They can make us, they can take our soul and make us like them, which is qualified to actually serve Jugal Vilas, Radha and Krishna and their pastimes, as a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. They have that power, that potency. So that relates to, I'm going to, now we'll turn to the Madhurya Kadambini. Kartik starts in Vrindavan October 28th, Saturday, October 28th. But anyhow, as Srila Gurudev actually has said, Kartik, how we perform in Kartik should be just a practice for how we practice bhakti every day of the year. It shouldn't just be during Kartik. It should be every day of the year. How can I please you, Sri Guru? And therefore please Sachinandan Gaur Hari, therefore please Srimati Radhika. This should be our life and soul. Burning desire, eagerness. We're praying for this eagerness. So continuing with the Madhurya Kadambini and the 8th shower, now Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his second part, 8b, he talks about how prem actually transforms the material tendencies of the sadhak's heart. It's prem that does the transformation. Previously, before rati, before prem, even far up into ruchi and asakti, but less, the heart of the conditioned soul is bound by hundreds and thousands of attachments, material attachments. You know, his possessiveness, his mamata, for his body, his country, his wife, his kids, his, you know, his own happiness, sense gratification, is just bound. But when prem, when rati comes, which is bhav, which is the first ray of prem. So rati and prem, it's just a maturing process. This whole growth of the bhakti lata is a maturing process of faith, of shraddha. And finally it's maturing into ruchi, ashakti, then rati, which is bhav. Finally, the ripened fruit, the actual fruit, is prem. So when this prem, a little bit comes, this prem, the power of prem, is coming from Ladini Shakti. It's the essence of the Ladini Shakti. It takes those tendencies of the heart and completely transforms them. Transforms all this possessiveness that was misplaced to possessiveness of Krishna's sweet form, his name, his pastimes, his associates. Then that completely becomes spiritualized. Spiritual ecstasy. This is astonishing, actually. It's only praying that can do that. You see, so sometimes I know myself, I think, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. I've been practicing or trying to practice bhakti yoga under Prabhupada's guidance and Gurudev's guidance for over 50 years. And I still have all these inclinations of the heart. Maybe not as bad as before I was a devotee. I must say, there's a little progress. But it's embarrassing, actually. But when we understand from the Madhurya Kadambini, this is natural. It's natural. Because it's not until Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and his commentaries, they explain that until rati comes, which is bhav, and rati is maturing into prem, that these inclinations will be transformed. Not until then. Until rati is there in prem, there'll still be some inclination towards lust, envy, greed. They will still be there. And that's why we shouldn't be so astonished when we see this in devotees that we think, oh, they're so advanced. But do they have rati? It indicates they don't have rati, they don't have prem. They may be practicing for many years and very sincere, but these tendencies will be there. And we have to become very tolerant, very patient, but we have to practice. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he explains that when we practice constantly and very deeply our sudden bhajan, then we go through the stages, as we know, of sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, nartana vritti, nishta, ruchi, ashakti, and then when rati finally comes by the mercy of someone who has rati, someone who has prem. We've done what we can. Now it's their mercy. When rati is given, when bhav is awakened, and prem is awakened, then at that point, everything is changed. Everything becomes transformed. And there's no longer, all of our material inclinations are dissolved. We're released. We're released from those binding knots that we've always read about, you know, the hard knots in the heart. Those are completely released. And now, that's finished. It's just finished. But not till Rati and Prem. And what happens is, Prem takes the inclinations of the heart and like dips them, like submerges them in an ocean of nectar, spiritual nectar. This is Prem, spiritual nectar, the ras, the liquid ras of Prem, like this, which is condensed bliss and is completely selfless, like this desire to please Krishna, you know, with no other desire, just to love Krishna. This is Prem. It's like, all we have to do is look at Srimati Radhika. Who is she? She only wants the pleasure of Krishna. And she's so qualified that anything even her blinking her eyes gives him so much pleasure, like this. So we're dipped. All of our tendencies are dipped in this ocean of Prem Ras. Become completely saturated. Transformation. Finally, the fruit of Prem. Like this. It's also described by Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur that Prem is like a sun. Also the sun. A brilliant sun awakens. This is the sun of Prem, right? So it's described in many different ways, you know. The sun of Prem. So when this sun of Prem is just radiating in our heart, what happens? The constellations of Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha, you know, mundane material goals of life, become completely eradicated. They're just completely gone. There's no desire then for material sense gratification, liberation, mystic perfection, nothing. Because one becomes, was explained, intoxicated. Intoxicated in Prem. Intoxicated. It's like a bumblebee. It's explained it. One becomes like a bumblebee, just going for the nectar of what? The sweetness of Krishna's form, name, pastimes, all of his associates. And he can't get enough. This bumblebee can't get enough. They're just wanting more and more and more. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a trouble with my throat. And so the fruit of this Prem is what we spoke about a little bit last week. Is called how's it go? Sandrananda, sorry. Sandrananda Visheshatma, which is condensed spiritual ras Prem, bliss. This bliss and this Prem gives the joy of service to Krishna. That's what this bliss is. It's a happiness of serving Krishna with complete, with one's complete whole being that's saturated with Prem, like this. And the second part of the fruit, and this is a tasty, tasty. And the second one, and what is the power, the potency of this? It's this Krishna, how do you say it? Krishna Karshini. That means it has the ability to attract Krishna. That's so powerful. This Prem is so powerful, it attracts Krishna. And Krishna himself explains, I think he's explaining it to Uddhava, I can't remember who he's explaining to, but he's explaining to someone in the Srimad Bhagavatam that more pleasing to himself is not his own Ananda, Swarupananda, but the Ananda in the heart of his devotees, and he calls it Premananda. This Premananda that's in the heart of his devotees so overwhelms him and attracts him that he cannot resist. And this Premananda is there in the heart of any Premi devotee. All the Premi, on whatever level. Hanuman is a Premi devotee. He attracts Lord Ram by his Prem. You see, like this. And there's an example given in this section of the Pandavas. The Pandavas also are full of prem for Dwarkadish Krishna, Mathuresh Krishna, right? And their prem is so natural, Krishna is so attracted by it, that he comes to their house, even not being invited. He was a chariot driver of Arjuna, like this. And so they are so exalted that all the other devotees, Brahma, Rudra, Prahlad, everyone, they're praying to be able to come to the house of the Pandavas and get Krishna's darshan, because Krishna doesn't live in the house of Prahlad. He doesn't live in the house of Brahma. And Narada is even saying, because Narada is saying this verse, he's saying, I'm the guru of Prahlad. He doesn't live in my house. He lives in your house. So we come to your house to get purified and to have darshan of Krishna. How exalted. But of course, even a more amazing example, not given in the book, but we know, is Srimati Radhika. No one can attract Krishna more than, she's Prem Guru. She attracts Krishna, she can attract Krishna from anyone. She can attract Krishna from the Pandavas, from anyone. Even her topmost rival, you might say, Chandravali. In Madhurya Rasa, there's no time. She can attract Krishna from Mother Yashoda, from Sridham Saka, from Raktak, Patra, all the different rasas. But even in Madhurya Rasa, topmost to her, a rival to her is Chandravali. But there's such a nice pastime, I may have told it before, but one time Krishna is supposed to meet with Srimati Radhika at Radha Kund, right? And he's late. And she's becoming very upset, right? And so Vrindadevi, she also becomes upset. She loves Srimati Radhika and what's going on. And she has all the living entities of Braj under her control. So she calls Pavan. Pavan is the wind, the air. She calls Pavan. And Pavan takes the fragrance of Srimati Radharani with him, or her, and goes and searches all over Braj, all the valley, everywhere. Finally goes to Govardhan, finally finds over near Govinda Kund at Gauri Kund, very secret place. I've been there myself. It's out in the fields near Govinda Kund. Gauri Kund, which is the place of Chandravali. So Krishna was there enjoying Vilas with Chandravali. Padma, Saibhya was very happy. Very happy they had caught him. So the air comes in, and all of a sudden Krishna gets really disturbed. He's standing up and sitting down, standing up and sitting down, because the fragrance of Srimati Radhika has come. The air has brought the fragrance, right? And finally he says, oh, well, I have to go, Chandravali. I forgot. I was on my way to take care of some really important business. Mother Yashoda sent me out. I think there's some demon coming. They're going to attack I have to go. I forgot all about it. And Chandravali says, okay, you can go, but come back soon. He says, oh, don't worry, I'll come back soon. So he goes out. And what happens is described that he takes shelter of Pavan. He puts his hand on the shoulder of Pavan, the air, and Pavan brings him to Radhakund, right? So if he was satisfied in Gauri Kund with Chandravali, no way, nothing could just take him out. But it shows Srimati Radhika, her prem, just her fragrance alone could take him out of the kunj of Chandravali. Her prem, her mahabhav is so attractive to Krishna. Nothing can compete with it. She is at top. She's top. Like this. But her prem is so full of so many qualities. She's so humble. Prem and humility are side by side, right? We hear in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the last chapter, she says, if I hear that Krishna wants to enjoy with another gopi, and that gopi can make him happy, I will go to that gopi's home, or Saki's home, and I will clean and I will take her to Krishna. That's how much she wants Krishna's happiness. Of course, she actually knows that no one can satisfy him as much as her. But anyhow, the sanchari bhavs of Mahabhav, like with Srimati Radhika, are inconceivable. One minute she's so proud, another minute she's so humble, another minute she's complete separation, another minute she's meeting like this, the waves in the ocean of praying, like this. She's serving Krishna in inconceivable, unlimited ways. So what happens is that, back to Madhurya Kadambini, oh yes, and at this point, the Premi Bhakta, he becomes so filled with this prem that he actually, two more qualities become manifest completely in prem, in pure bhakti like this, and that is a haituki, absolute absence of any desire for sense gratification or the fruit of one's action, completely gone. The other one is that there are no obstacles can stop one's service or one's desire. That's a pratihata. And this is likened, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur likens this to a warrior, a fighter, like in the Battle of Kurukshetra. I think I'm going to have to take a pill here. So, a warrior, like in the Battle of Kurukshetra, they become so absorbed in the battle, they completely forget themselves. Nothing can stop them. Even they die, whatever, they're just absorbed in fighting. Or the other example that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives is a thief who is just completely absorbed in trying to get this treasure, some treasure, whatever it is. And he doesn't care for his own self. He doesn't care if he's just obsessed with getting this treasure. Those are the two examples that are given. So nothing. At first in prem, if some obstacle comes, it won't stop us, and we'll get more humble, more eager, and like this. But it won't disturb us. But later, when prem is so full, there won't even be any obstacles. We will never perceive any obstacle like this. Although, now we could think, now wait a minute, we consider jatila and katila obstacles, but that's a different kind of obstacle. We're talking about mundane obstacles, okay? Or at this point, the Premi Bhakti doesn't even consider what's auspicious, what inauspicious. And one good example is Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda, her prem is such, her love for Krishna is so deep and so intense that she just wants him to be happy and healthy, right? Because she thinks he's getting so skinny because he's going out every day to herd the cows. Why? To tend the cows. He's getting so that he doesn't eat properly. So what does she do? She has heard that Srimati Radhika has a boon from Durvasa Muni, that everything that she cooks, the person who takes it will be very healthy, live a long life, like this. And even though she knows Srimati Radhika is married to someone else, because she shouldn't call for Srimati Radhika. This is not proper in society. But she calls for someone who's married to someone else, some young lady, to come and cook. No, this is not, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She will call because she just wants the happiness and the long life and the health of her son. And she's so eager, she'll send all kind of bribes to Jatila, all kinds of nice jewels and this and that. So she's so eager for the health and happiness of her son. Well, she sends all kinds of bribes, you know. She sends jewels and clothes and everything. You know, we know these stories. And because Jatila's a little greedy, you know, so she likes that. But still, she doesn't want to send her son. I mean, her daughter-in-law. But the Leela is such that Purnamasi comes and tells Jatila, this is the desire of Yashoda is so great, the desire of Krishna, and Srimati Radhika. Purnamasi, Yogamaya herself, comes and tells Jatila, if you don't send Srimati Radhika to Nandagram to cook, your son will die, all your cows will die. I can see the past, present, and future. I'm Yogamaya. I could say, no, she's a yogini. Everyone does what she says in bread. She stops, you know. And so okay, I have to send my daughter-in-law. But she only sends Srimati Radhika with Kundalata. And Kundalata is supposed to guard Srimati Radhika, so she never even catches sight of Krishna when she goes over there to cook. You see, like this? But Yashoda, she is so happy when Srimati Radhika comes. She's not thinking right or wrong like this. She's only thinking, oh, Srimati Radhika is so beautiful. I have so much love for her, equal to my son. You know, and she's so happy. And her cooking is so wonderful. It will give so much strength and help to my son. This is Prem. Prem. Prem breaks all barriers. Breaks all barriers. Like this. And you can see another example that's a little closer to us. I can look at Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Look at the Prem he had. Unbelievable what he has done. Old. Apparently old. What is 70-something? 72? I forget how old. Or was he 60? No, he was 65. Anyhow, whatever it was, he was... I'm terrible with details. Prabhupada decides to board the Scindia, ship, the Jaladuta. Such an old age. No money, no nothing. But to carry out the instruction of his guru and to fulfill the prediction of Mahaprabhu, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. What prem he has. Who would do that? The prem he has, and he's going on this ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, these waves are, and he has heart attacks, everything, and he never stops. Goes to America, the land of hell, land of complete darkness and ignorance. And he never stops until he's established Mahaprabhu's mission over there in the Western world. In 11 years. That's the power of Prem. That's the power of Srimati Radhika and her Manjaris, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. He was fully empowered by the Rupanuga Guru Var. Fully empowered with the topmost Prem. How else could it be done? Not possible. He didn't care for any obstacles. No obstacles could stop him. His godbrothers, some of them were criticizing him. No one helped him. Even in America, nothing. He was, for the first year, he had absolutely nothing. And then what did Krishna send him? Forest monkeys, dancing white elephants, worms and stool. Okay, come, chant Hare Krishna, help me spread the movement. Like this. Whatever, he did nothing. He just chanted Hare Krishna, spoke Hare Katha, and established Krishna consciousness all over the world. Radha and Krishna, Nitai Gaur, Jagat Balaram Subhadra. Unbelievable. The power, the spiritual power of the Premi Bhaktas. But not just Premi, these are Brajbasis, the topmost Brajbasis. The Prem in their heart to satisfy Radha and Krishna in their form as Gaur Hari. So that's another example there. So then what happens, what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur starts talking about, is that when this prem is maturing, one becomes burning with separation. Burning with separation because he wants to meet Krishna. But then what happens? He becomes soothed like millions of moons, cooling like by a spurti. At this point, a spurti comes. Spurti is like a vision, like in a dream, like this. It's Krishna coming, but it's like a vision. And then he becomes so happy, so immersed in the sweetness of Krishna's form, everything about him. This comes. But after some time, even a spurti is not enough. He wants unquenchable desire to meet Krishna directly. He's not happy with a spurti anymore. And this separation just completely engulfs him. He becomes completely engulfed in the agony of separation. Are we ready? Are we ready? This is there. This is there. And because I didn't memorize it, I will read you a description of someone who's feeling this intense agony of separation. It's quite amazing. Even they've had a spurti, but so what happens? In this state of distraughtness or discontent or this agony, the Premi Bhakti, he feels like his kith and kin, that means his family, his nearest and dearest, they appear to be like a dark, dried up well. His nearest and dearest personalities in his life. Dark, dried up well. His house, like a thorny jungle, full of thorns. And even taking a small amount of foodstuff feels like a mighty attack on him. Amazing. And praise by saintly people feels like a bite of a poisonous snake. His mundane daily duties are like death. His every limb of his body feels burdensome, heavy, like a big burden. All of his limbs. And consolation, someone trying to console him from his confidants, his friends, feels like a shower of poison. Amazing. This is not fiction. This is reality before prem has completely come. This is one of the steps. This is part of Krishna Akarshani, attracting Krishna by our prem. When we haven't met Krishna yet, to achieve the darshan of Krishna directly, not just a spurti, this kind of eagerness has to come. Not satisfied with a spurti. Then his constant wakefulness, when he's awake, is a constant ocean of repentance. He's just repenting and repenting when he's awake. I haven't met Krishna. And whatever little sleep he does get makes him feel like he's just squandered his whole life. He's wasted his life. Even after having a body seems like bearing punishment given to him by the Lord. Wow. And his very life breath feels like as useless as paddy that has been repeatedly burned. Like if you have some grains of corn or wheat, and they've been burned and burned and burned, and it's useless. His life breath feels like that. Amazing. Whatever he previously constantly cherished is now an utter disruption. Not to speak of anything else. Even the thinking of Bhagavan devastates him. We can't imagine. That's how attached, that's how attracted, that's how much they want the direct service to Krishna. Because without direct darshan, how you can directly serve him? That stage will come. Now, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that this stage cannot be possibly described, actually. No poet, no writer, no one can act it. It can only be realized by actually attaining it. By realization is the only way we can know it. We have some little description, but actually not until we've actually experienced. But this prem in the heart, this premananda in the heart, is starting to attract Krishna. And the example is also given of this person. He is so much absorbed in the ananda of prem and in the agony of separation from Krishna, who now he has this prem for, and he hasn't met, he hasn't directly served, the writhing of a fish out of water. When you take a fish out of water and it's just agony. That's what he did. So this is what it's like. And this isn't just at these beginning stages. We do read descriptions of Srimati Radhika. When she has to leave, let's say, she has to leave Radhakund and she has to go back to Javid after the dice game, after Surya Puja, she has to go back to Jatila's house. And she's finally separated from Krishna after being with him for so long, many hours. She feels like this separation. One moment, we cannot imagine. Like this. So prema is both poison and nectar. This is what Purnamasi herself describes. Prem is like poison. The most poison is kalakuta, they call it, which is some poison that comes out of the ocean or something, and like the most nectarine nectar pouring on your head. This is prem. Meeting and separation. So this prem, finally, it brings direct darshan of Krishna. He comes. He finally comes. And he empowers the devotee to be able to perceive his sweetnesses, the sweetness of his fragrance, his beauty of his form, his speaking, and also in his heart of his qualities like magnanimity, compassion. He empowers the devotee to be able to actually experience this. That does come. It's not complete separation, ever, never. And then this bliss that comes with this direct darshan is actually, as Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, it's an inexpressible bliss. Inexpressible. Well, it cannot be expressed. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a few examples. Even though they don't do it justice, he does give a few examples. And the examples he gives, number one, is like a traveler. He's been traveling and traveling for so long on a desert path, in the desert, with scorching heat, days and days. And he finally comes to a huge banyan tree, enormous banyan tree, with all this thick leaves and everything, so there's shade there. And it's on the bank of the Ganga. And there's hundreds of pots filled with cold Ganga water. That's a tiny example of the relief and of the bliss one would feel. Doesn't do it justice, but that he gives this example. He gives a second example. You have wild elephants, and they've been in a blazing forest fire. They're caught in this blazing forest. All these wild elephants are in this blaze. They're just dying, and they're so fearful of everything. And then all of a sudden, torrents of rain come pouring down from the clouds. That kind of relief. Still, it doesn't do justice. But and the third example, as a person who has had chronic diseases and he's craving to experience taste again because he's just been so sick he can't taste anything. Finally, he can taste nectar. What a bliss. But still, these don't do justice. They don't do justice to the experience of the happiness of praying and of actually having darshan of Krishna and experiencing his madhuris, his sweetness. And that we will talk about next week in text number 2. So I think we'll finish here. He also explains that the Premi Bhakta is continuously rising and sinking in the ocean of Krishna's unbelievable sweetness. He's just rising and sinking. It's an ocean of prem. But no one can express this. So next week we'll try and talk about what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti does try and express in his Madhurya Kadambini of praying. Now this is way beyond me. I'm just trying to be an instrument for Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and hoping one day to actually get a taste, one drop of this nectar. There's a beautiful sloka by Narottam Das Thakur. I can't remember, I think it's in Prem Bhakti Chandrika, either that or it's in Prarthana. And he's saying he's standing on the ocean of Prem, on the shore. He's just standing there on the ocean, and he's looking. And he says, I don't know how to swim. I just don't know any, but I'm diving headfirst into the ocean of Prem. This is our Guru Narottam Das Thakur. So we hope to follow in his footsteps one day, to come to the shore of the ocean of Prem and to dive headfirst in, like this. By the mercy of our Guru Parampara, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta, and our Gurus, Prabhupada, Gurudev, Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami, all of our Gurus like this. Gaur Govinda Maharaj, so many. We're so fortunate. Vanchakalpatubhischa, Kripa Sindhubhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha.
Jai Shri Guru Gauranga, Dharmika Giridhari, Radhika Raman ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gauravattarinda, Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gauravattarinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Gandharva Giridhari, Gandharva Giridhari Radhe, Jaya Radhika Raman, Jaya Radhika Raman,
Radhika Raman, Jaya Radhika Raman,
Jaya Giri
Jaya Jaya Govardhana, Giriraja Jaya Govardhana,
Jaya
Nitai Gurudev, Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Jai Ho. See you next week, hopefully.